Going to be talking to an actor who I know you're going to recognize most certainly from a role that he played for many years on Law & Order SVU right here on NBC. But now you can catch him on TV Land in a show that has captured America's attention. And for those of us who grew up loving 90210, Melrose Place, and Sex and the City, this is a show that is just for you, because creator Darren Star has now created a younger cast, and Peter Herman is part of that. Peter, welcome to Good Day Live.
Thank you, and it's so nice to be here. Nice to see you, Julie.
Well, you know, this show is one that I'm going to be honest with you, I just recently got onto. You're now into several seasons, but I'm hooked. And for the audience out there who is like me, who maybe hasn't found this one yet, give a brief description, because there's a lot of people like me who are in that 40 to 50 age range who are going to love this show.
The first thing I want to say is I just love the sound. I'm going to keep replaying it in my mind of you saying that I'm part of a younger cast. I just love that. My day is made. So the brief description of a show is a 40-year-old woman divorced with a daughter. Has to go back to work, and she finds that because of her age, she goes into the industry that she used to be in, publishing. She finds that nobody will hire her because she has aged out. At 40, she has aged out. That the night after a failed interview, a young man in Brooklyn, impossibly handsome, mistakes her for a 26-year-old. Her best friend then says, well, if he can make the mistake, everybody can. She gives herself a makeover as a 27-year-old, and it is the world. It is you watch her, 40-year-old woman, live, exist, and lie in the world of millennials. And it is a story about everything that she encounters in that world, herself, what the world has become, and the somewhat tricky relationships that grow out of her lie. And by now, the show has very much grown past that initial device. Past that lie, but that plays a very significant role in the show, how she negotiates that. The lead actress is Sutton Foster, who can very easily pass for 27, and I actually play her boss, who is pretty crazy about this uncannily wise 27-year-old.
You know, the show really wraps you in.
I think that's about as succinctly as I've ever said it.
You know, you did a great job. You did. And I want folks to know the show wraps you in not only to the storyline, which is capturing in itself, but the relationships between characters who, by the way, when you talk about having the kind of cast you have, there are a lot of recognizable people who I think others will embrace and already have in many cases.
There's that impossibly handsome young man in Brooklyn is Nico Tortorella, and then there's Hilary Duff, a name you might recognize. There's the fantastic Miriam Shore, Molly Bernard, Debbie Mazar, Charles Michael Davis. Did I forget anybody?
That's the main one.
Someone.
And you know, you've had
no, I think that's everybody.
You've had a lot of good ones come and go too. In those sort of guest roles. This is a show that truly is every week as you kind of tune in, the storylines are all woven together, yet there's new challenges that are faced, not only by, this 26-year-old, aka 40-year-old, but all of the cast and their lives. It's really a well-written story.
I'm glad that you said that, because we are all so deeply taken with our writers, and Darren has this incredible, uncanny ability to put his finger on the pulse of the moment. And he did it with the shows that you mentioned, 90210, and obviously Sex and the City, and somehow, again, he has. He really speaks to something that is current, and in a really wonderful way, and it's a show that really exists in the that exists in the world that we live in, and I think that's a really strong aspect of it. Plus, it shoots in New York, and I always love when New York's a really important character in the show.
Well, it is in this show, and your character as Charles is also very important. And we thank you so much for talking to our audience today. Let's remind them when they can catch the show. Wednesdays, right?
Wednesdays at 10 p.m.
on TV Land. Thank you so much, Peter.
On TV Land. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Julie.